Hello. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining how different fats and sugars affect baking by explaining two different home projects that were failed. And in each example, I'm going to explain when you change, or I guess each example shows you what happens when you change key ingredients without fully understanding the science behind what you're doing. So for the example is going to be a mistake using different fats, and the second one's going to be for sugars. So in the first situation, the baker, he replaced butter with oil in the recipe, and first it might seem pretty just small, not that big of a deal, but the results change dramatically. The cookies spread out a lot and become greasy and don't fully hold their shape. This is because water and solid fats are in butter, so which help create a structure and allow the cookies to hold their shape. So when you take that out, it makes everything just start not being able to hold their shape because oil is just simply 100% fat and stays a liquid. It doesn't hold up anything. And the baker, in the situation, he thought it wouldn't make a big difference, but according to different experts, substituting butter with oil when you're making cookies dramatically changes the result. It changes the texture, it changes the structure, and even the flavor of it. So in the next situation, the baker, he reduced the amount of sugar put in a cake recipe because he thought it would be too sweet. However, the cake, when it finally got out of the oven, it was dry, it was dense, and it lacked browning. And this is because sugar adds so much more than just sweetness. It helps you retain moisture in whatever you're baking. It contributes to browning through caramelization, and it affects the overall texture of whatever you made. When the sugar was reduced, the cake lost its moisture and didn't properly develop in the oven. And the baker assumed that it was only for like taste, but research shows sugar plays so much more of a role in baking rather than just flavor. And so in both of these situations, the bakers, they tried to explain their mistakes, but the first baker blamed the recipe that goes with the research that tells you a thing that's completely different than what the man did. And the second one, we realized the sugar affected the texture, which aligns with what professionals have said about it. So overall, the second baker, he's the one who accurately understands what went wrong and will more likely understand not to change anything the next time. And also looking at their mice in place, both the bakers, they could improve in that the ingredients were not always measured. They weren't measured ahead of time, and substitutions were made without even planning. To improve, they should measure things out before planning precisely and avoid making substitutions that are too major without any sort of research, and also keep ingredients organized and ready to use. A good mice in place, it helps you to prevent mistakes and leads to better results in all around of your baking. So in conclusion, fats and sugars are essential to baking, and changing them can tremendously affect the outcome of whatever it is. Because butter, it provides structure, while sugar adds moisture to a texture. Understanding the science behind these things can help bakers to avoid more common, more simple mistakes and create better baked goods. Thank you for listening.